Hello everyone, my name is Fomba Bahbay. Hello everyone, my name is Fomba Bahbay. I'm going to be doing a project demonstrating box model and media query. This project is ART205, and which of course I'm going to be demonstrating a lot of practical work that you guys is going to enjoy. And stay tuned and look forward for the work that you are going to see, and it's going to be very practical for you and yourself. Okay, so firstly, this is the work and how I go. And for this stage, this work, I'm going to name this work, which is going to be Fomba box model. Maybe. So you see, I've just created a name which is Foma in the box model, and I'm just gonna save this work. If I save this work and come and refresh this document, you are gonna see here in the Foma box model. But before going into this, let me explain about what the functions and how the work look. So first thing that I want to tell you about the simple things which is the CSS. So CSS is the cascading scar sheet and which we're going to be using in the boss model, right? So the boss model explains how the element are space, which is the space, right? So when you look at the writings in between, so you look at the space where you see format before going to the boss, you look at the space in between. So you talk about the element, the space, and the size on the web page. So each element is treated as a rectangular box. So each element have different ways to treat something that includes the contents, the padding around the contents, and the border around the contents, right? So the padding around the contents, in the margin outside of the border, this model helps to lay out the space and align of the element in the CSS. So before we move forward, I just want to do some practical work so that you can see in this practical work going to be how I'm going to give this color or star sheet, and you're going to see the star sheet where I'm going to make this in the format. I'm going to turn green, and I'm going to add the padding on it and discuss about last thing. So this is the star sheet. So within the star sheet, we have the body, and then now I'm going to go to the in order to go to the body, I use each ones. So I have the calibrators and I pull the font size. After the calibrators, you guys seeing the font size. So from the font size, you're going to just be patient, and I'm going to add the pixels of the font size, which is going to be 50 pixels. And then I come down to do the color, right? So you're seeing the color of this. And I'm going to give it this beautiful background first before going to color. So the background color is orange. And then we come to next only have to do with the padding, right? So the padding is in two forms. So one have to do with left, right, up and down, but we're gonna use all in one. So the first thing is that when we see this 20 pixels, the 20 pixels when we apply it and save it, you're gonna see that it's gonna take a functions for the both side of the work. So now I come and still I have the color orange, and the 20 pixels go left, right, they go for font and buttons. So now you're gonna see how I'm gonna add more beauty to this work. So I come back to the padding. So within the padding, I open up the space and put the 20 pixel. And now with these 20 pixels, I'm gonna go, you want to use it for both sides, right? So I'm gonna add another one so that you yourself can see what exactly I'm doing in practice with me. So I put 50 pixels. These 50 pixels I put are gonna show another side of the work. So when I save this work and refresh, you are seeing the difference of the work, right? So one side is 20 pixels, and from up and down, you have to see which is the 50 pixels. So this is what really the pattern does. So to add this, I'm using the short coding for short so that you can see. I'm going to add another beta to this. So I'm going to add 40 pixels, which of course you're going to see if I save this 40 pixels and refresh, you're going to see that, oh yes, this have a different style of the work. So now we're going to add another pixel so that you can see this pixel is going to do the right and left, the up and the buttons. So after doing this and save the work and come back here to refresh, you see from the top have different pixels, the bottom have different pixels, the left and right have different pixels of the work. So this is just some of the beauty that are in the CSS box model. So now, I going to the border of the work. So this is the border, right? And within the border, I want to add the dusted, which is we have 10 pesos. Or I'm just going to change this border 10 pesos, the 10 pesos of the border. And now I'm going to do or double rate. So when I save this and come and refresh, you see I have a border line around the format. So you are seeing a line around it from left, right, and top. So this is just the border, and this border is also happening when we want to beautify the work. And I can also change the color of the border, right? And I don't even want to make it double. I can change another direction of it. So there are too many things I do in doing this. So now when I do this and save, you see, I dotted the work. So it means that I put dot around all of the works. So you are seeing, and with this, I can also come and change another function of this that are the beauties of this work. So, um, so now you see, I have the margin, and with the margin of this, I just want to use very something simple, which is 90 pesos. And first, when I use this 90 pesos and save, and then I come and refresh, you see what happened? The margin is upside, all right? And now I'm going to go with this same margin. I see 50 pixels and save this. Once I refresh, I'm gonna get a different margin of this. So this is just some of the beauty of the work and how it go. So now I'm going to be discussing about the box margin, the diagrams, right? So you see this. You see this have another space, which is the space on the two side of the box you are seeing. So all this is also part of the coding work that we normally use to beautify the box modeling diagrams. So the things of the box have to do with the contents, what you actually see inside of the elements, like the text, the image of other stuff, that and makes things very, very easy for us. Uh, Welcome back to my recording. Yeah. So now I'm going to be discussing about few things that have to do with media query. So stay tuned and you're going to enjoy this and then I'm going to aspect of the recording. And this is going to be very, very practical that you yourself going to enjoy. And I wish you good luck. And when you continue with this, once you end this video, you're going to enjoy a lot of things. So for today's tutorial, on media, for today tutorial on media query, this is where we are going to drive you through. So now we go into business. So first the media query, no, we are technicians, we use like the CSS for responsive web design, right? To apply different type of styles, depending on the characters of the user, which is the devices such as the screen size, the resolutions, right? But before going this, I have a lot of codes that I've already put within this, and I'm going to discuss about the code for this. So before we move with the code regarding this, let me do you a favor. Beautifying this. So for today work, I'm gonna perform at 205 mina query. So for today's work, I'm going to use Fomba 205 meta query. So like just a little example, right? Before I explain about how the color, the text, the font size, the background, let me just show you small thing. So I just put Fomba, ART205 meta query and save this work. So once I come and refresh, you are seeing it, on my screen, right? You're seeing Fomba Bahbay ART205 meta query. So with this work, we have one key things that people don't have they grab when they are doing coding have to do with the media conditions. So the media condition have to do with the CSS rules. So this is the media, the media rules. They will have to do with the CSS rule. So they have to do with the pixel. So for instance, you see we got 480 pixel. So let me demonstrate a few things for you. So when we reduce this to uh, maybe let's say 500 pixels and see what's going to work for you. We do a 500 pixel and save, and then we refresh. We do a 500 pixel and just want to expand this. You see what's going to happen. The whole screen is going to turn very big. So we reduce this, but there are too many things that I want for you to enjoy, right? So we'll go back to where we have the color. So you see, we have blue, we have red. So the color in here depends on how this is going to work because this is going to work. If only the screen is going to be very small, you're going to see the color is going to change to blue. So this change to blue to tell you that, oh yes, if I'm using this for probably on you viewing a web page on a tablet or phone, it's going to show you the size of it. Even if I reduce the size of it, which is going to be very small, you're going to see it's still going to give you another color in there, which is not blue, but another color that you're going to see. So this is just few things about how it works. They give you different styles. So we as a technician will use this to beautify it. So we go back again and you are seeing it change to red. So now we get the common use, right? Which is one common thing that we look for. We look on both desktop and mobile phone devices by changing the layout or design elements. So as you can see, there are a lot of things have to do with the layout or the design element. For examples, we have to do with the star phone devices with a mix of 600 pixel. So we come to the star devices, all right? So you're going to see this. Let me change this to the 600 pesos and see what you're going to get. So now I'm removing this from 786 to 600 peso. And when I change this to 600 peso and save, you see there's going to be different, way of my work. So even if I screenshot and drag, you're gonna see different type of it. So this is not basically about this, but I just want you to grab the concept and how it works. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos, which of course you're gonna use to do a lot of work within this. So now you see we have the text, the text alignment, which is the center. The we have the transitions. We are seeing up here we have the pattern, and then we have the family, which is the font family. And then you see in Dix, we can change Dix to even or cursive. So I don't want for format to be in this way, but I want to change format to a cursive. So see now, let me change this and see. So I'm going to erase this and I'm going to change this to a cursive. So if I change this to cursive and save and refresh, you're going to see format is going to turn to a cursive. So this is how it works. This is how to do the text alignment, right? The text alignment has to do with the center of the text. So now I want to change this for you to see another form and how this is going to work. So as you can see, I changed this to justify and refresh. So you are seeing different aspects of the work. So this is just some of the technical work that we do and you are seeing, and when I enlarge, there's a changes when I resume the screen, you are seeing this. But this is just something for you to grab the concept of it and see how it works. But there are too many things that I'm going to be coming up with a lot of videos and we're going to enjoy about main acquire.